The Young and the Restless spoilers, Wednesday, full the 22nd of July 2026. Welcome back to our channel, Why in Our Family. Today is a beautiful day to unpack the absolute madness unfolding in Genoa City. We are thrilled to have you here as we break down all the latest twists, turns, and shocking betrayals. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive right into the heart of the drama. I cannot believe they are actually doing this. I mean, seriously, are we really about to watch Kyle Abbott and Victoria Newman cross that line? I am sitting here typing this up, completely losing my mind over the absolute audacity of the writers right now. I have been watching this show for years, and I have seen some wild pairings, but this is on a whole different level of chaotic, and I am honestly half terrified and half obsessed with it. We need to talk about this immediately because my head is spinning from the implications of these two getting together. And let's just look at the history here for a second. Victoria Newman has a massive, undeniable, almost fatal weak spot for Abbott men. Remember when she was hopelessly tangled up with Billy Abbott for what felt like a literal eternity? Yeah, we all remember the endless cycle of Billy. So the fact that she is now making eyes at Jack Abbott's son is just, wow. It is so deeply messy. And I know some people are loving this, but personally, I am just screaming at my screen because of the sheer amount of collateral damage this is going to cause. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's break down how this is even happening. Kyle is currently on a total warpath against Victor Newman, and rightfully so. The kid nearly lost both of his parents in a matter of days because Victor thought it was a brilliant idea to bring Patty Williams back into their orbit. So Kyle is traumatized, he is angry, and he is looking for any way to lash out. And Victoria? She is incredibly vulnerable right now. She is terrified about Nikki's blindness, she is mourning the anniversary of Cole Howard's death, and she is feeling completely isolated. So, what do? Instead of tearing each other's throats out over Victor like they usually do, they find themselves in a room, dropping their guards and actually sharing intimate secrets. I'm sorry, but what? The fact that Kyle is opening up to the daughter of the man he is actively trying to destroy is just wild to me. And the fact that Victoria, the Ice Princess herself, is actually listening to him and finding comfort in his presence? It is a recipe for an absolute disaster. And you know what? I can't look away because the sparks are flying. The spoilers are practically screaming that these two are going to end up in bed together. Am I the only one who thinks this is going to completely detonate the Newman and Abbott families? Imagine Victor's reaction when he finds out his precious daughter is sleeping with Jack Abbott's son. The man is going to have a literal heart attack. He already hates Kyle for sniffing around Claire. But this is the ultimate betrayal in Victor's eyes. And speaking of Claire, oh my God, Claire Grace Newman is going to be devastated. She has already warned Kyle to stay away from her grandfather and not to mess with her family. How is she going to feel when she finds out the guy she had feelings for is now hooking up with her own mother? It is giving me major flashbacks to some of the messiest soap storylines of the 2000s, and I am just bracing myself for the absolute nuclear fallout when Claire walks in on them or finds out the truth. Okay, back to the point. Let's talk about Jack and Diane, because while Kyle is out here making hard eyes at the enemy, his parents are dealing with their own absolute nightmare. Jack is finally back home, recovering from being stabbed by Patty Williams. I mean, Jack Abbott has survived a lot of things in his life, but taking a knife for his family is definitely up there. He is trying to rest, he is trying to heal, and Diane is playing the doting nurse. But let's be real here. Diane is completely and utterly traumatized, and she is pretending she isn't. She was kidnapped, held hostage in a padded room, and psychologically tortured by Dr. Lawrence Markham and Patty. You do not just bounce back from that by fluffing Jack's pillows and pouring him tea. I am so frustrated watching Diane try to hold it together when she is clearly falling apart at the seams. She is paranoid, she is terrified, and she is constantly looking over her shoulder because Dr. Markham is still out there. And this is where I start to get really worried for her. Because Markham is still missing. The police haven't found him, and Diane knows that as long as he is free, she is not safe. The trauma is eating her alive, and if she doesn't stop and actually process what happened to her, she is going to have a complete psychological break. She cannot just play Florence Nightingale while she is silently suffocating from PTSD. So, what does Diane do? Because she is desperate and not thinking straight, she comes up with the absolutely unhinged idea to contact Martin Laurent. Yes, that Martin Laurent, the known psychopath. Because Markham's creepy little hideout was filled with books written by Martin's twin brother, Alan, Diane is convinced that Martin holds the key to finding Markham. It is a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad idea, and I was literally yelling at my screen for her to stop. But thank God for Tracy Abbott. Can we just take a moment to appreciate Tracy? I have been watching since 2015, and Tracy has consistently been the absolute MVP of this entire family. While everyone else is running around making terrible, impulsive decisions, Tracy is the one holding the Abbott family together with pure love and common sense. When Tracy finds out what Diane is planning, she steps in. But she doesn't just tell Diane not to do it. She decides to take the massive, terrifying risk herself. Tracy believes that because of her past connection with the Laurents, she is the only person Martin might actually confide in. She is literally volunteering to walk into the lion's den to protect Jack and Diane, and I am just in awe of her bravery. But I am also so scared for her. Martin Laurent is not someone you just casually call up for a chat. The man is dangerous, he is manipulative, and he is completely unpredictable. Tracy is putting her own life on the line to find clues about Markham, and if this goes wrong, it is going to go horribly, tragically wrong. Remember when they tried to negotiate with villains like this in the past? Yeah, it didn't work then, and it usually ends with someone getting kidnapped or worse. And let's tie this all back together because the sheer irony of all these storylines colliding is just too much to handle. While Tracy is risking her life to clean up the mess that Victor Newman indirectly caused by bringing Patty back to town, Kyle is secretly plotting with Patty in jail to destroy Victor, all while Kyle is simultaneously falling into bed with Victor's daughter. It is a circle of absolute chaos. If Victoria finds out that Kyle made a secret pact with Patty Williams, the very woman who stabbed Jack and kidnapped Diane, how is she going to react? Victoria might be mad at Victor right now, but she is still a Newman. If she realizes Kyle is using her, or even if his feelings are genuine but his actions are that reckless, she is going to absolutely destroy him. Victoria does not play when it comes to betrayal. And what about Kyle's motivations? Is he really falling for Victoria? Or is this all part of some twisted, subconscious plan to get back at Victor? I want to believe that the shared trauma they are bonding over is real. Kyle is hurting, Victoria is hurting, and sometimes trauma bonds create the most intense, fiery connections. But this is Genoa City. Nothing is ever just about comfort. There is always a hidden agenda, always a secret waiting to blow up in someone's face. I know some people in the forums are shipping Kyle and Victoria already, calling them the ultimate power couple to take down Victor. But personally, I think it's a ticking time bomb. The age difference, the family history, the Claire of it all. It is just too messy. And when Victor finds out, he is not just going to yell at them, he is going to systematically dismantle Kyle's entire life. We have seen Victor destroy men for far less than sleeping with his daughter. So here we are, bracing for impact. Jack is trying to heal while his wife spirals into paranoia. Tracy is about to play a dangerous game of cat and mouse with a known psychopath to find a missing, corrupt doctor. And Kyle and Victoria are about to cross a line that will forever change the dynamic of the Newman and Abbott feud. I am exhausted just thinking about it, but you better believe I will be glued to my screen every single day to see how this all plays out. The writers are feeding us right now, and I am here for every single dramatic, messy, unbelievable second of it.